Andrew, has there been any communication between the group there and Greyhound?
Not particularly, and you can add us to that group as well, Doug. We haven't gotten any response through our emails, phone calls. It's been difficult to get through, and even those who have gotten a response, though, they didn't get a solution with it.
The final destination's seldom a truck stop. It's more of a pin in the itinerary, where getting there is half the fun.
No.
Not always.
What, 30-some people out here?
Consider all of them.
Yeah.
Stuck.
To sleep on the ground?
Greyhound? They consider the tickets sold, but the people say the service skipped.
48 hours now, going on another day. But no explanation why that bus never showed up. But the next bus is supposedly at 8 a.m. again.
Rocky Suits is headed to Seattle, if he gets there at all.
There was one mom that's been here since Monday, and there's been 4 different reschedules for her. So we're starting to wonder if there's ever going to be a bus that's coming.
One man already made his decision.
Yeah, right?
It's not. A friend drove 4 hours, abandoning the bus on his own terms. But he's the exception.
I'm going to Portland, Oregon.
Alan Bailey's the rule.
Trying to. Hopefully I'll get there someday.
Well, Greyhound knows, right?
And that day won't be today. After many days, betting on tomorrow.
There is an actual working bus. It's not broken down now because it just parked a few hours ago. But it's just sitting there.
Just sitting there.
This is a bloody nightmare.
Dreaming for any response.
Yeah.
Is Kevin Jackson, a new email in his inbox.
And they said I have to wait until 24 hours after I get there to contact them to file a complaint, so they won't do anything.
One after another.
They send you and try to give you the runaround.
It's the gas station now, taking over the hospitality.
They have been awesome. She brought out a bag of food. We passed it around to everybody that doesn't have the means to eat. They've given us no flack at all. Even if we need to sit inside the air conditioning, they've let us.
Helpful.
Yeah.
But no solution.
Is your bus repicked for tomorrow?
Far from the destination.
The majority of what we have out here is elderly. A few people that don't need to be out here by themselves at night.
It's a business, technically, but mostly a home for art, personally.
Born Weird Tattoo.
Taken to the letter.
And hopefully this just becomes,
by owner, Kendall Vader.
a haven for everything weird,
Everything?
It's very eye-catching.
Everything.
No pun intended.
We'll look past that one.
I've been making sculptures for quite a few years. I maxed out every credit card to fully make this place like the way it should be,
Just the way it says. Weird.
My end game has always been to have like a roadside attraction because Boise is becoming a chain. Everything is a corporate-owned business. We're really trying to make this section of the bench a little more exciting.
A bit more visual, a lot more far-sighted.
I plan on it being there for multiple generations.
And so now if it's anchored down, we know that this thing is not going anywhere, which then prompts the question, it's got to be looking somewhere.
Following the line of sight to where looks matter most. Bryn noticed instantly.
Yes, I did.
Her 9 to 5 on Overland is now under watch.
And it's like literally directly looking at me, so...
Which is the name of the game when going for looks?
It's art, and I do art for a living, so I have to respect it.
A cosmetologist's conclusion, it passes the eye test. After a cosmetic conversion, of course.
My dad contacted me and said, hey, do you need this big ocean buoy? And I was like, absolutely. I knew right away I was going to make a giant eyeball. It's all solid steel. All the veins were welded on there.
A tourist attraction, but likely not his last.
It's going to get real weird over here.
Off to a good start, personally.
Like you would just not expect it to be there, so I think it's kind of cool.
With the built-in audience.
So I'm going to continue to build new things that Boise's never seen before. And I feel like something that the whole neighborhood can get behind,
Cornered in the middle of town, Middleton hopes they've reached the end.
I'm very relieved because I don't want to do this again.
Where Alan Tremble spent years.
This was a lot of work.
Petitioning patrons for a change in liquor laws.
That's pretty much it.
He moved to Middleton in 2018.
This place empties out on the weekends and the evenings. Where is everybody? We can go down to the bar and get a margarita or glass of whatever. No, sorry. Beer and wine.
He started asking questions at city council meetings and started collecting signatures to push for a change.
Very true.
Matt Watkins joined the front of the charge.
It's been something that people have tried to do since I was just a kid.
More than 2/3 of voters supported the ballot question, reversing a 1947 vote, in which case 111 in favor of temperance outnumbered just a single pair of drinking buddies.
I wouldn't say a change in the community, but just a change in perspective, seeing that it's not just about booze or drinking. It's more about opportunities for local businesses to succeed.
Including the Shap, owned and operated
Oh yeah.
by Adam Kenyon.
7 days a week.
Just a year into business, he's had plenty of time
Never had liquor.
But
no,
we
I
haven't.
should have brought my own bottle, right?
to rehearse.
Yeah,
No, it's all good. Well,
it's
that's
beer and
right.
wine only right now.
Beer and wine.
And already, he's counting down the seconds.
I was on the phone with the state first thing this morning, and as soon as we get word, the application's going in, and the ball will roll probably quicker than we're ready for, but we're gonna make it happen.
It's not a free-for-all. City Council still needs to cross their T's and dot their I's.
We're hopeful for the first part of the new year.
So businesses can do the same with their very own liquor license.
I feel good about it. I feel good about Middleton's future. This is going to help not only just the restaurants, but all the businesses here.
A drive down Boise River Road shows no shortage of cattle. Look hard enough, you'll even find a few horses in the mix too.
People can have a lot of money, time invested in their animals and stuff.
But after last Friday, there's one less horse to spot in this town.
For no reason.
Because Dan Erskine
That's just wrong.
says his horse was shot 9 times.
I think it was random.
Random, but still intentional.
Around the heart area, that thing was the size of a coffee cup, the pattern. So somebody knew what they were doing.
And Dan's not the only one who thinks so.
Someone being incredibly cowardly, right? It doesn't take a lot of guts to shoot a horse.
Kenyon County Sheriff Kieran Donahue says remote crimes like this are difficult because there's fewer cameras than a city and a lower likelihood someone else saw the crime. Crime with a very real impact.
You know, and that was going to be my grandson's little horse, and I'm sure she just walked up to the fence to look at those guys just to see what they were doing, and then they just shot her. Makes no sense.
The randomness has gotten the attention of his neighbors and garnered community support.
The phone just rings off the hook of people calling up and somehow wanting to help.
That support includes a $1,000 reward from the owner here of Bar 20. His name's Jay Blake. He says it's for anybody who provides information leading to an arrest and conviction.
I do not know him at all.
Random, all right.
Never met him.
The store owner was not comfortable talking on camera, but says he lives near that same road and adds this is unacceptable. It's where he and Dan agree there's order to be found somewhere.
Somebody needs to be held their feet to the fire, because this is stupid.
Nature brings people out to Ann Morrison Park.
This one going around this mandatory tree.
But it's a reverberation.
Nice sound to hear.
That keeps a consistent crowd returning. Time and time again.
Not always as lucky.
Dan Oates has played for 20 years.
That's why you can just keep coming back out to Ann Morrison and keep on playing.
Playing mostly for the music.
All right.
And over at the city,
what I think is probably Boise's best assets.
Sarah Arkle says the Parks and Rec department is hearing it too.
Yeah, people are engaged. They care about what's going on with their park.
At least 1,300 people cared enough to fill out a public survey. It involves the future of Veterans Memorial Park.
We're not at a final design phase yet.
But the Parks and Rec Commission has approved the revision plan, influenced by those public survey results.
We'll see if I made it to the other side.
It's a survey that's listening too.
And I was like, hey, disc golf would be a cool one. I already saw it was on the docket, and so I was a big fan. Put my name beside it.
Disc golf was the top choice, meaning Dan isn't alone.
No, not at all.
We have been seeing that community sort of explode.
The Parks and Rec Commission heard public comments on Monday that included concerns over an 18-hole course being too large for the space.
18 would be phenomenal, especially for opening the options for tournaments and local vendors and anyone else just to be able to come and play what you consider a full disc golf course.
Today, Ann Morrison remains the city of Boise's only full course, The only place you can hear the crash of chain wind chimes 18 times over.
This distance is a bear.
Even if it takes a few extra tries.